YouTube, what's up, it's Magnus. Today I'm going to show you how to change the AC lines and dryer on your GMT400 vehicle. Here we got new AC lines with manifold, mufflers, the whole assembly, low and high side pressure switches. Here's your dryer here, got some oil, Orifice tubes, and we're going to block off the rear AC. That's what this kit's for. And I'm going to show you why I'm doing this and what you need to look for if you have an issue with this as well. All right, the reason we're doing this is because, well, for one, these lines and mufflers have been on this truck since 1998 when this vehicle was manufactured. The dryer as well, but I had a leak here in the charge side, and I was noticing the clutch would stay on and would not shut off even when it was on normal cycle, not max, and eventually the clutch just stopped coming on at all because we had a leak here. And I'm going to change all the lines and block off the rear AC just to cut out any other factors that may arise. If I know all the AC refrigerant is contained in the front of the truck, I can kind of pinpoint if there are any more issues later on down the road. All right, before we start replacing anything, we're going to go ahead and remove the air box and the coolant overflow tank out the way, and then we're going to take the grill off. Okay, now you can do what I did and not have to bother with the coolant overflow. Just take your clamp and take the bolt all the way out. It's a 10 mil, and just bend the clamp back, and then we get ready to install the new dryer. Just close it back and then tighten it back down. It'll save you a few steps, and it's real easy. You don't have to worry about removing this and taking the clamp, bracket off the firewall and all that. Okay, here are some sizes for you for these fittings. Okay, the evaporator inside the firewall and the dash, the fittings for that are going to be 1.25 inches for the actual fitting on the dryer, and then 1.1/16 inches for the actual fitting on the evaporator core. The same size fitting is on the AC line side, inside the engine bay, and the dryer, the dryer itself, the fitting on it, so you can hold it, is 1 1/8 inches. So I know you can use adjustable wrenches if you got them, but if you got the right size wrenches, the correct sizes, use those, because these can slip. And if you screw up and mar that fitting on the evaporator core, this can turn into a really bad day for you real quick. So if you got the right size tools, use the right size tools. Like if you are just doing a block off, you go take that T, follow that bend, and you're gonna put a cap on here, and you're gonna cap this line here, and that's how you block off the rear AC on one of these trucks. But we're gonna keep going. We just went ahead and took the dryer out, and remember, the evaporator core, be careful with this when you're taking it loose, because you see there's some rust inside of here. It wasn't that bad trying to get it loose, but still be careful with this fitting, because if it gets messed up, you gotta have a time trying to get this off. It is seized on there. All right, we're gonna keep going, and then we're gonna remove the lines from the compressor. Okay, gang, after you take your grill off, these are the two fittings that you have to remove. Now this one is gonna stay in the truck, because like I said, we're changing these upper lines. This attaches to your upper line and your manifold that goes to the compressor. Gonna take this off, remove it, and replace it with a new one. Also, be careful with these threads and all this stuff, because it's aluminum, soft. So put some oil on your fingers and put it on the threads. Hand tighten as much as possible before you put a wrench on, because you mess these up, you're in trouble. All right, 15/16 is the larger of the nuts on these. This is supposed to be 3/4, but it's not going on for some reason, so I had to use an adjustable wrench on these. But just be real careful if you're using an adjustable wrench, because make sure it's tight as possible and you don't let it slip and mar these fittings. All right, your hold down bolt that attaches to your compressor is a 15 millimeter. And I apologize, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but if your unit, it has Freon in it, you need to use a vacuum pump, suck Freon out. Just open it up into the atmosphere. My system is already drained because I had a leak, of course, and that's why we're doing this repair now. But remember to do that. All right, get ready to take this off and put new lines on. All right, I took the fittings loose. Remember, the upper one is for the top side lines that go to the compressor. The bottom one goes to the evaporator inside the dash. And also, on a dual system like this, you're gonna have a T-line and your orifice tubes in this section of piping, not in the front where a system with a single AC system, like your pickup trucks and your Tahoes that don't have rear AC. I think most Suburbans do have rear AC. This depends on the trim or how, you know, they came from the factory. But this Denali, of course, has, you know, it's loaded. It's got dual climate system. So the orifice tube for this truck is down in this section of piping here. Remember, like I said, if you have a single AC system in a GMT400 truck, your orifice tube is going to be in the front here behind the grill. If you've got a dual climate system, it's going to be in this piece of piping up under the hood, so you don't have to worry about taking the grill off. All right, get in there ready to pull the orifice tube out and reinstall this line. After you get your orifice tube out, match up with your new one, put you some compressor oil around that O-ring, and then you just slide it back in, and then we're gonna reinstall that line. Make sure you change all your O-rings, and when you replace them, make sure you put compressor oil on them, and make sure you clean those surfaces the best you can. Also, while we got this line out, we're gonna go ahead and install our block off kit for the rear AC. Got our line back in. See that? And then there's your block off back there. All right, now we're gonna get ready to assemble the top line. All right, this is the top line with your manifold. It already has gaskets on it. So I just gotta take the old gaskets out the compressor, top side. And here's the other block off for the upper line for this section here that goes to the rear AC. Get ready to put that on. Gonna go ahead and install the high side pressure switch and get this in the truck. Got our block off cap on, got our high side pressure switch on, got our gaskets with some oil on them. We already popped the old ones out the compressor, and now we get ready to go on with the new assembly. All right, we got our top side lines on right here where the grill's at. Got it attached to the compressor. Go ahead and plug up the high pressure side switch. And now we get ready to install the dryer and the lines that go to it and into the evaporator core in the dash. All right, this is a new dryer we got. We already put our low pressure switch on. Remember, always use compressor oil on the O-rings and your threads. Got it snug. All right, we got the evaporator new O-ring on it, and we got the threads on that fitting. Got oil on it, and also we got oil on the new lines we just installed going to the dryer. And now we're gonna get ready to install this. Okay guys, here we are. We got the accumulator back in. It's hooked to the evaporator and the dash. Everything's tight now, nice and snug. Remember, you don't have to Hulk down all those fittings, because remember, they are aluminum and you can damage them if you tighten them too much. You see we have the rear AC line blocked off along with the line that comes from the condenser. I kind of just got them zip tied out the way. I tried to get the lines that didn't have the rear AC, but I had a hard time trying to find those for some reason. And when I got the idea to do the block off, I had already had these in the mail, and so I went ahead and just got the caps and blocked these off. But I just needed new lines. I needed new mufflers, because they always say if some of you need to change those. with the dryer, because with the leak, you need to change that anyway. And the mufflers need to be changed as well. And like I said, the compressor is pretty much new. And we got the condenser, it's fine, but you know, it's no leaks or anything. You know, we did a pressure test on it and everything was fine there too. So now we got to get it charged, and we're going to do a vacuum test on it, make sure we don't have any leaks. And then we're going to put Freon in it again and try this all over again. This should fix my problem. After I get it charged, I'll do an update video for you guys. But yeah, this is what you have to do as far as maintenance an AC system. If you have a leak, find a leak and then replace those according components to remedy that issue. Also, don't forget to put your sweater back on your dryer. But that's all I got for you today, guys. Just kind of give you a walkthrough overview of what to do if you got GMT400 vehicle and you need to change AC lines and orifice tubes. I've been Magnus. Catch you in the next one. Peace. Arm yourself. Advanced Armor Light Firearms.